guys, it's Luke here for TechPerSpec.com with another Photoshop tutorial, and today we'll be looking at changing color of the car. You can change the color of pretty much anything, but it works really nice with the car, so I'll be using that as an example. I pulled this picture of the internet of this Ford, and what the main thing is to do here is to change the color of the chassis. Okay, so first we have to make the selection, and then we can adjust the levels, I mean the hue and saturation, and that we'll do it in here with the adjustment, either here or the adjustment layers down here. So first, I want to show you there's a couple different ways to do this, and I want to show you the simpler ones at first, and then we'll go into more complex as the video builds up and stuff. So just probably the easiest way to do this is if you go to Image, Adjustment, and Hue Saturation. You can also use the shortcut Control U or Command U on Macs, and then you would click on whatever the most dominant color in the picture is. So in this case we'll go with green. Then you hold your shift key and start adding the values of this color here. Okay, just a couple clicks here just to add the values, and you can see here that the Photoshop actually tells you the range of the colors that it picked out, and now it will change only those colors. But now watch what happens. Say I wanted to change this to red or violet or whatever, purple, but the problem is, as you can see, that it's changing everything because the car background is green as well, and that's just going to change the whole picture. So let me pull that back. This would be really good with, say you have a red car and you just want to change that color, and you have that car isolated on a white background, like a show car or something like that. This is the way to do this for that. But if you have a background that has a similar colors that the car chassis is, then this is not gonna work. It could work, and I'm gonna show you how to make it work. If you were to select just a selection here, and I'm gonna do it with the quick selection tool, and I'm gonna do it really quick. I'm just holding up this tool here and adding what I want, and it kind of just picks out on its own. But see here, I went too far, so I'm gonna hold my Alt button, and that will subtract the selection. Okay, and then I'm gonna add some more here, and I don't want the windshield because that's just we don't want to change the color of that. Okay, I'm just doing this really quick just to show you guys. Say I have my selection, and say this was perfect. I don't want the wheel here. And now I can go to hue and saturation once again, and now I can change the actual color, just the color of the car. Okay, now I would have to actually subtract the headlights and the grill here too, but this was just an example. So I'm gonna cancel that, and I'm gonna Control D to clear my selection. Okay, and now, whoops. There's another way to make the selection more accurate. If you don't like the quick selection tool, you can also do it with magnetic lasso tool. If you're good with that, just keep holding it, and it'll kind of just stick to the edge. You don't even have to go right next to it, but see, this is kind of a mess up. Okay, so say I had that, and you know, this was my car, and it was a very nice selection. So I'm gonna hold this, and now I can also go to again, go to hue saturation and change my colors, but this is actually changing the original image. Okay, so you never want to mess with that. You always want to make backups and adjustment layers and just duplicates, because you don't want to mess around with your original file. So in this case, I would go down here and bring up, this is an adjustment layer, and do it through here, hue saturation, and here it is. And now we'll just change the area that I had selected with the magnetic lasso tool. Okay, and that's just changing right here. That's an adjustment layer, so I can turn it on and off. See, so I still preserve the original file. So I'm gonna throw this out, and I'm gonna tell you how I would actually do it if, you know, somebody came up to me and said, I want this color I want this car a different color. So first, what I would do is I would path out everything that needs to be changed. I would actually make a path around the whole car and then subtract the windshields, the mirrors, the headlights, the wheels, anything that I don't want changed, and then I would go from there. So I'm gonna show you guys quickly how to make a path. You would go down here where you have your layers, channels, and paths. This is the default what Photoshop will tell you. You can also drag them out and stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna keep them back here and switch to the paths. Go to my path tool. Pen tool. I'm sorry, pen tool, which is P on by default on the key command. It's down here. Okay, pen tool, and I'm gonna see here. I'm gonna zoom in on this, and now just start drawing out my path right around this car. Okay, now I'm gonna tell you something about the paths. For some people, it might take a little while to get used to it. For me, it took a little while too. You know, it takes some practice. It's not like natural. For some people, it might come natural. I'm not sure. But this is probably the best and most accurate way to do it. Now, as you can see here, I messed up a little bit. Now, I want to get down here, but this path is like curving up and stuff, so I can actually hold my Alt key and click on the point here, and that way I cut the path in half. And now I can go around it. There's one more thing I need to tell you about this path. Okay, and I'm gonna cut here. If you have a sharp corner, just hold Alt key and you get this icon right here. Okay, and that way you can cut the path, and now you can go anywhere with it. Okay, now if I didn't cut it, it would do this. You see what I mean? Okay, just needs a lot of practice. Well, not a lot, just a bit of practice, and then you'll get this pathing done. And it's a very good tool. Okay, a lot of people underestimate this, that they don't use it at all and they don't even know about it. But pathing is amazing once you get it to work right. Now, one more very important thing that I'm gonna say here is the less points you have on your path, the better. Okay, so if you were going and doing this, that's not good. Okay, because then your path is not straight and there's many points, and you know, the more points, the more problems you're gonna get. So you want to have the least amount of points. I mean, obviously some places you might have to do a lot of points, but you don't want to have a lot. Just try to see if you can do it with the least amount of points, just like this. Okay, and this takes some time. Like I said, this takes some time to get used to, but once you get this done, I'm actually gonna pause this video and just skip over. I'm gonna path out this whole car because I'm not gonna do it right now, and I'm gonna come back when that's done. Okay. Alright everyone, my path is nearly done. I just wanted to point out a couple things that I think I forgot to explain when I was first showing the paths. Like I said, the less points you have, the better, and I actually didn't really do a really good demonstration of that. So I left out this mask here for the grill here, the frontal grill. I still need to path that out. But I also forgot to let you know about this tool right here. If you click plus, you will add to the path, and if you click minus, you will subtract from the path. So to show you my path, I made a path around the whole outside of the car, and I included the mirrors, okay, both of them, and I excluded the windows. And now I have the last thing is the mask here, the grill. Now what I will do is actually click minus to subtract from my path because I don't want the mask in there. I'll start right here and I will make this whole upper part in one big path. Okay, just watch. And now if you mess up, say you did this and you release your mouse button and now you're like, oh, what do I do? Okay, I needed to zoom out just to see more. You can hold your control or command key and click these points and they will adjust how the path works. Or you can click this main point, that's where the line goes as well. So I just want to go from here to here, and I'm just gonna adjust here. Okay, so this might not work, so I'm going to do it closer to my beginning point. And as you can see, this is getting better. Okay, just a little bit more adjustments. I'm going to have to move this one as well. Now adjust it like this. Okay, just holding control and playing with it. Okay, just playing with it. That's the main part. And now I want to make go down here to reconnect on the path. You just click on the point, and now see what it's doing right now, because it has this line in here, and I basically told it to go left, but I want to go down, and it still wants to go more left. So I'm gonna hold my Alt key and cut this in half, and now I'm gonna hold and drag and make that make this shape right here to go around the edge. For some reason I'm still okay. There we go. Just go around here. Same thing in here. So I'm gonna cut this. Cut this. And now connect. Okay, so that's not a perfect path, obviously, but it was kind of just a quick showing of how you can subtract and add to your path. As soon as you're done with the actual path, make sure that you rename it here. Okay, it'll be called work path, and if it's work path and then you go ahead and start another path somewhere else and you forget about the first one, you forget to rename it, that first one will get deleted. So make sure the first thing you do after you're done with your pathing is that you rename it. Okay, just name it whatever. 1, 2, 3 is fine. If I was to hold control and click this is the selection. So now we can actually go to our layers, add an adjustment layer, hue and saturation, and it will just change the path. Okay. The nice thing about hue and saturation changing is that it will preserve all the reflections on the car and all the different shades of the color on the car. Because if you were to just take a brush, well, you can do this if you're good. But I'm not really good at this. So, and plus I'm working with a mouse, so I'm not. I don't have a tablet right now, and so this is kind of bad with the brushing and stuff. But if I was to just draw this car, and let's see here, I need to be on the main layer and just do it like this. See, this would obviously be really, really bad because there's no reflection. So this looks really really horrible. So that's why the hue and saturation is really good, and you can change the colors, and then since you have the path now, you can add image on the car. You know, on the hood you can say you put an image of it, and we would actually use the vanishing point for that. I might do a tutorial on that later on. For like the next tutorial, I might do the vanishing point. That basically puts the picture in perspective relative to the object that you're putting it on. But that's basically what this is about. That's what I wanted to show you guys. I hope you like it. Please leave comments and subscribe here. Make sure to go to check it out on TechPerSpec.com, and you know, leave some comments and suggestions from the next tutorials. Alright, so this is Luke signing out for TechPerSpec, and I'll see you guys next time.